Welcome back to Starting Nine.
Let's go.
Episode 236. It's going to be a good one. It's a little early. You're welcome. And that's only because we have a very special guest today. And we wanted to get this interview out before he makes his next start. I don't even know why I'm like teasing it. Like you don't already know. Like obviously if you downloaded the podcast, then you can see it right there in the title. I'm sure we tweeted about it. I'm sure we tagged him in the post.
What do we have?
It would be really shocking if at this point in the podcast you just had no clue who the guest was. So I'll just let you know right now that it is from my first place Milwaukee Brewers, the ace, the man who's making history in 2021. His name is Corbin Burnes, and he's on episode 236, making his starting nine debut. I feel like it's been a little bit since we've had someone make a starting nine debut. I feel like a lot of the guests that we have on now, like they've been in the trenches with us before. They know what the deal is over here. But to have Corbin Burnes on in the middle of, I feel like in terms of timeliness, like we've had guys on that were pretty timely. Like I remember that nothing will ever be timelier than when Mike Clevenger was the starting pitcher in the game that the Indians tied the A's for the longest winning streak in baseball history at 20 wins. And then he came off the mound and immediately onto the podcast. I don't think there will ever, in terms of like baseball history, timeliness of a guest, I don't think you can get timelier or more relevant than that. But this one's up there. I mean, Corbin Burnes is in the middle of a historic streak and he's on starting nine this week.
Yeah, it's almost like walking out to the mound right now with the coach and the catcher and having a mound meeting with him about how things are going.
Yeah.
And then we'll just head back into the dugout and watch the rest play out.
Yeah. Who do we have Mulder on that episode too? So we had someone from the A's streak and we had the starting pitcher for the 20th win.
Yeah.
People don't know. And what year was that? 18? I think so, right?
I think it might have been 19.
No, nope.
18?
I think it was 18. If it wasn't 18, it was 17. So I think it was 18.
Okay. So it's 18.
Yeah.
That's why you got to go back to the YouTube channel. That's why you got to go to the YouTube channel. You
do have to go to the
because
YouTube
all
channel.
of the shit that we have forgotten about that we've done is right there. So when you hear us talking about all the cool shit that we think we've done that we don't remember, you go to that YouTube channel, you hit that subscribe button, and you get to see all of the cool shit that we can't remember that we've done.
Yeah, a lot of cool shit. We've done a lot of stuff over the years. And that was one of them. I'm trying to think of have we ever had like a time, like a super time, like bam, like this happened and bam. No,
it's usually, you got to remember the starting nine bump, the starting nine rub is extremely real. So it was a lot of,
we had Shane Bieber on the week that he won the Cy Young Award. And I know that the starting nine Reddit crew was like, enough with Shane Bieber. I know he literally just won the Cy Young Award, but we want to hear about fucking Trevor Rogers.
Yeah, can't do that. We got to stay timely.
We're going to talk about Rogers today, though.
Are you?
Yeah, that. Why? You think I'm going to talk about Ian Anderson? I feel like that, and Jazz Chisholm, the NL Rookie of the Year field it's meaty. It's real meaty. And I feel like that's something that I want to keep the finger on the pulse of that all year.
Hayes out there, but that's fine.
Well, he got hurt.
Yeah, I know. That's all right.
It is all right because the Pirates are fucking Pirates are playing good baseball. Dallas,
you're damn right.
We're recording this right now before entering play today on what's today, Wednesday. Your Pittsburgh Pirates have a winning record, and they're 2 games out. They're 2 games back of
it's north of 500. But do you know what it means right now for the Pirates Brewers to be north of 500, having played this much baseball already? Okay, do you have? And hey,
they played 23 baseball games. They're 2 games back at first. They've won 3 straight.
Right, and we don't have to talk about run differential. That's something that we don't really need to highlight with the Pirates.
No.
Okay, no, that's one of those categories that we can just sort of gloss over. We might revisit from time to time just to get a feel for the level of success or what we could maybe continue to expect. But that's
just by how much are they overcoming the odds?
Thank you.
This is a team that is 2 games back of first place with a negative 47 run differential on May 16th.
Winning the ball games you need to is what I would take away from that. Just getting
no
the
doubt
hits at the right time. Maybe you don't get a ton of them, but you get them at the right time.
You don't get more brownie points for having a better run differential. If you're still winning the baseball games, doesn't matter.
It doesn't count towards your win percentage. So I don't know why people are all up in arms about it.
No. So right now, you and I are neck and neck for the NL Central crown.
Oh yeah. Hey, well, I'm gonna tell you what I tell all the people in the AL West who like to talk that shit when the A's are not in first place and we're coming to town. Oh, Jared, you go ahead and take a look in that rear view mirror, pal. Because guess what? We coming. Oh, we coming. That's right. It's like the Black Pearl right now, chasing down other ships in the open sea. You're wondering, you got the crew shuffling from side to side, not understand how the fuck is this team still? How are they catching us? Are they going even faster right now? How the fuck is that possible? That's what every other ship in the ocean is thinking about the Pittsburgh Pirates right now. They see that Jolly Roger blowing in the wind, and they know it's only a matter of time before the Buccos throw a plank onto your ship and we come over to your mast and we raise it, Jared. It's coming. We coming.
I'm glad that that's happening. Not like this podcast. All this podcast really needed to come full circle in terms of the storylines was the Pittsburgh Pirates to have a good season.
We're working on it, babe. We're working on it.
I just think that you need to renounce your loyalty to the Cardinals. Like I feel like you can't have 2 teams in the same division.
You got to understand, you twisted that. You created that because you tried to lure me away onto your side. And I told you, you tried to lure me away from a team that I hadn't even committed to. All I did was say that they were good. I said that this is who I had.
No, I think didn't you pick them to win you picked them to win the division?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Is all I did. I picked them to win the division. I didn't like announce my allegiance to them. I that never happened. You put me on the Cardinals, and then you tried to take me off the Cardinals. And the Cardinals fans said, "Hey, we like him. He can hang out with us." And I said, "Hey, I like them too. I'll fucking hang out with them. Like we can all hang out together. I'll bring them on the pirate ship. We can hang out together." Yeah. Every pirate needs a good bird friend. We know that.
Right. True. But I mean, like right now, the Pirates and the Cardinals are tied for their second place.
Right. We'll slug that out. We'll slug that out. We'll figure that out. I mean, that's that's
you
kind of stuff that takes care of itself.
After all the support that you've given to the Pittsburgh Pirates, now would be a very weird time to switch allegiances within the division.
Right. Exactly.
This is when they need you.
I can't do that. Well, and that's why I'm here. That's why I am present, Jared. And I have. Thank you to all of the folks who have either had a Pirates podcast that literally no one's heard of, or all the folks who've been inspired to start a Pirates podcast. I've got your DMs.
Has that been happening?
Oh my God. Yeah, sure has. Oh yeah.
People are like, you know what? Dallas said he wants to go on a Pirates podcast. So we're going to start one and we're going to have Dallas be the guest number 1.
That's exactly what happened. Dude, me and my 2 homies love the Pirates. We're in college. Just started this podcast. Would love for you to come.
Are you going to do it?
I'm not. Well, yeah, I'm going to do it. You bet your ass.
I'm going to do it.
Fuck yeah. How else are we going to be making waves?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like you
gotta get out
like
there.
I have a question for you.
The Buccos need boots on the ground, Carrabis.
Was the Dallas Braden raise it shirt ahead of its time?
I believe it was. If I'm being honest, I don't know that the world was prepared for a storm of Pirate fans. I don't know that they were ready. And frankly, just taking a look at some of the numbers here, I don't know that the Pirates fans were ready either.
No.
A few of them very ready.
Mm-hmm.
A few of them understand the value of having a flag to fly. And when our day comes, me and those 3 fans, we are going to look so fucking good when the Pirates have raised it and we are wearing the crown.
So
Four of us.
Speaking of this, well, I mean, when they're good, those crowds fucking turn out. I mean, they literally rattled Johnny Cueto to his core. Like
Yeah,
like you want to think about like someone that got absolutely rattled by Pirates Nation, Johnny Cueto. Holy shit! But speaking of the Starting Nine YouTube channel, you want to go back and watch. I think it was the Spikes Up Tour vlogs from 2019 when we went go-kart racing with the Oakland A's, and Dallas, spoiler alert, won. The celebration that he did afterwards was haunting, to say the least. But I could just picture Dallas doing that celebration in the middle, like a sea of Pirates fans in October. Like that's like, I want to live to see that. Like I want to live to see Dallas won with the Pirates fans of Pittsburgh. I do.
Jared. I almost signed myself up to jump off that bridge right now. I don't know how far it is from the water, so I don't want to do that. If it's dangerous, I definitely don't want to do that. But if I could live, if I could survive that, and the Pirates end up in the Fall Classic, I may be taking a leap off that bridge if I can survive it, and if it would be received as something celebratory. If that's something bad, I'm not looking to jump off. I'm not trying to break my legs.
What would you do if the A's faced the Pirates in the World Series? I almost had that problem. I almost, like in 2018, the Brewers were very close to being the National League representative in the World Series against the Red Sox.
I mean, as tough as it may be, Jared, I think I'd be safe in making the decision to fly the green and gold flag. I think I would hope that my Pirate brethren would understand.
I think for sure, no doubt, they would understand, and I think everyone would know. Like there wouldn't be like a mystery behind who's Dallas rooting for in this World Series. But I mean, the Pirates would be in the World Series. Like that's a shit. You know what? I hope that doesn't happen. I'm not rooting for, like, I normally root for chaos. I'm not rooting for that chaos.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, I want both of those events to be separate. I want Dallas to get his World Series with the A's.
I couldn't emotionally handle that.
No.
Like that would crumble a baseball soul. Like for me to be if you're an A's and Pirates fan for whatever reason, and taking that up in the World Series, like, oh my God. Like how do all
those A's Pirates fans out there would be a dilemma.
What's that Venn diagram look like?
Yeah.
Fucking me.
There's got to be others like you. I mean, there's got to be like at least two. There's got to be at least one other.
We know there's at least 3 people that have an affinity for pirate merchandise that follow us.
Yep.
We know that.
We
know that. We had a pretty exciting set of ball games last night, Jared.
Yeah, we did. Fucking Vladdy with the bingo bango Yahtzee, which is, I think we've seen 3 of those this year, right?
3 homer games.
Yeah, I know JD has one. I want to say someone else has one, and Vladdy had one.
Matt Olson has 2 home run games.
Yeah, no one cares.
It's not those. 3. That's not 3. I don't know.
It's not 3. I don't know. I can't remember. If there is one, I don't remember who it is. But anyways, so Vladdy, and this was one of those things where how often do you hear about a player who maybe struggles with their weight and then they come into spring training looking awesome? How often does that actually translate? Like, I feel like people just are searching for spring training storylines. Oh, Ryan McMahon.
Yeah, Ryan McMahon. I'd say it translated really well in the late.
Who's
80s,
another guy like that?
Late 80s.
Who's another guy like
90s?
Like Miguel Sano? Miguel Sano, like I feel like he like dropped weight, and then people were like, "All right, where is it?" And then he put the weight back on. He's a moose.
About dropping weight. I thought you just meant.
I'm talking about like dudes where the storyline during spring training was that they dropped weight, and then how often does that translate?
How do you not say this? Well, I guess it wasn't the case in any one instance at the big league level, but I always think about Dustin Pedroia when that kind of commentary comes up. That's why, like, and you look at me like that, like, do you understand the narrative about Dustin Pedroia? That's why I just said it didn't happen in the big leagues, but they were looking at him like, where the fuck is this fat kid gonna play? Where the fuck are we gonna stick this little fat kid? Like, where's he gonna go? So you're telling me this kid's gonna play second base in the big leagues? That's what you're telling me?
Well, he's a shortstop in college.
Well, but they were like, that's like not happening. He's not going to play shortstop. That was a done deal. He's not going to play shortstop. And that's why I'm getting to what I'm getting to is they were looking at him very early on. So he had to make that change quickly to become the big leaguer that he became. One of the all-time grittiest ball players that the game will see. Like that's for me, that's a prime example of somebody making that transition early in their career. But to your point about maybe being established in the game 6 or 7 years or so, and because that was the case for Vladdy,
didn't translate.
No, and you know who else? David Wells, right? David Wells slimmed down, said, "Nah, I don't think I like that." And I'm not saying slim down like he was a completely different guy, but he shed some weight, didn't feel like he had the fastball, and that's what a lot of guys who are bigger say. We heard Lance Lynn say it himself, like, I lost the weight.
I think it's different for pitchers, though.
Well, it is because we're generating mass, or we're trying to move mass in a different way. And if we've got mass behind to move down the hill, then it helps.
Yeah, I think like even in the Pedroia example, he was always a little pudgy. I don't know if you saw. The video is hard to come across, but the pictures are not. I want to say it was spring training, 2007 or 2008, somewhere around there. They did like a dance competition, and he took his shirt off, and he had the word "daddy" written across his gut. He's never been a model of physical fitness at any point. It's not like one year he like came in like with a fucking 6-pack and everyone was like, damn, how's that going to translate?
No, but I'm talking like the conversation around him was,
yeah.
Like, I don't know, like the kid has to clean his body type up for him to be an everyday
Poor Dustin. I mean, fucking, we're trying to talk about Vlad Guerrero Jr. and he's just catching stray bullets right now.
Right. All I'm telling you is he was a fat kid that turned his shit around. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he did.
That's it. And that's where.
Did he ever turn your shit around?
Fuck no. Get out of here. Tired ass singles. Fucking singles hitter. Little bullshit singles hitter. He knows what's up. Petey knows. Petey don't want that fucking smoke again.
I'm going to look that up. Because I'm curious. I mean, oddly enough, you didn't really.
No, I'm serious when I say he, like, I think it's a couple singles.
Yeah. I bet it is.
I told you that's my claim to fame. Is all the power guys. I mean, might be a few that got me, but all the guys, you'd be like, oh yeah, that guy just destroyed you.
Yeah, Nelson Cruz, no. David Ortiz, no. Like
Miggy, no.
Yeah, Miggy, no, but Maglio.
Mag, we don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about Mags.
1151 OPS. Yikes.
Little magpipes.
Oh, Adrian Beltre butt fucked you.
Beltre.
438, 1283 OPS. Yikes.
Adrian Beltre and Melvin Mora hit back-to-back home runs off me in Seattle into the upper deck, about 3 feet away from each other. Like the ball landed. The fucking
Josh Hamilton, Hambone. 429, 1143 OPS.
Yeah, lefty crush.
Yeah, like, but not Joe Mauer got that ass. Vladimir Guerrero, Big Daddy Vladdy, only hit 200 against you. 450 OPS. A lot of limited damage there. Limited damage. Who else just absolutely owned you, though? Miggy, we talked about. Hideki Matsui. Yikes.
Yeah, he ruined my start after the perfect game.
Hideki Matsui, 429 with an 1143 OPS.
And that son of a bitch showed up in Oakland. And the first fucking thing he tells me, him and his translator, Roger, love Roger. Hey, Hideki wants to talk to you about something. Fuck yeah. What do you got?
Porn
Right
collection.
on. This is gonna be awesome. We'll get to that. He's like, hey, we knew everything that you were throwing us. And I was just like, what? I threw my fucking hands. I was like, what? What do you mean? We were on the field, live BP. And he's like, yeah, we knew everything that was coming. Torrey Hunter, one of the best at picking pitches. We had your changeup. And he even said, he was like, compliments to you. Pretty good changeup. Because we knew it was coming. But yeah, we knew everything.
We knew everything. We knew it all.
It's one of those moments where you're like, well, I'd like, I don't know, 15 starts of those back, please, if I could.
Wait, so he told you that while he was once he became a teammate or afterwards?
Once he became a teammate.
Ah.
Yeah. That's what you do. That's how you that's how you ingratiate yourself. Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Glad you don't have to face me anymore. Bet you are. Guess what? Knew it was coming.
Dustin Pedroia hit 400 with 1,000 OPS against you, but he was 2 for 5. 2 for 5 with a double.
Yeah. I mean, you throw out these numbers and people are going to think that they just fucking absolutely crushed me for 10 years.
Yeah. I love how this website lists you as a free agent.
like I'm still kicking around.
Did you not officially announce your retirement? Did you not do that?
I don't think I ever signed anything.
You should do it now.
I think you just like don't show up, right?
No, I think I think you have to like officially announce your retirement. So go ahead.
Oh, we know. No, I'm gonna leave the door open.
You know what? Maybe not. Yeah, yeah. If a team's interested, and
I'm not gonna back myself into a corner here. I mean, guys.
Do you think if you went under the gun right now that your changeup would be harder than your fastball?
I would be Zach Greinke right now.
Yeah,
no doubt. Like you would get the power changeup at 82, and you'd get the fastball 79 to 81.
No, I think objectively, I think you'd see like a changeup at 84 and a fastball at like 83.
I mean, don't let me get into a heated battle during fantasy camp because I've been known to dial it up there.
Yeah. Once you get those juices flowing, it's really hard to stop.
Get me on the mound, get a couple of rally lippers in, start feeling good, start tasting myself.
Yeah.
It can get out of hand, Jared.
It can definitely get out. I think I want to do something with A's fantasy camp where we're both mic'd up. I just want to observe. I mean, I want to observe.
It is, I'm telling you right now, it is the most fun. Some of the most fun I have all year long. All year long, I look forward to it.
Didn't Randy Johnson show up one year?
What's that? Yeah.
That's not a fantasy. That's a nightmare.
Well, I mean, it'd be a nightmare to have him on the mound.
Yeah.
It'd be an absolute nightmare. Yeah. He just came and hung out, just walked around. I mean, Jamie Moyer was there a couple of years ago. Like, that's what's cool for me is I get to, I'm talking to a lot of these older guys that I looked up to, obviously playing out in the Bay Area. These are legends in the Bay Area as well. Randy's a Bay Area legend. So it's just, it's an awesome time to watch these dedicated fans come out and fall on their face, try their ass off. I mean, my first year, Carrabis, we had a fucking 86-year-old dude who got drilled and charged the mound. As serious could be. Like, he was not fucking laughing. He was not faking the funk. He got drilled, dropped the bat, and started walking out to the mound. He would have ran if he was physically capable of it.
Yeah.
But he was on his way to go beat some ass after getting drilled in fantasy camp.
I mean, like, think about that though, from a psychological perspective, right? Say you're 86 years old, you've been a diehard baseball fan your whole life, and maybe you did play when you were younger. But if you did, it's probably been a long time since you did play. Even if you did play when you were younger, a lot of people aren't charging them out in competitive organized baseball. Like, that's not something that happens all that often. If I'm 86, I'm like, you know what? I'm at the end of my road here.
Well,
I just want to fucking do it one time. Like, why not?
Jared, it's a different generation.
Yeah.
Right? This guy had been through some shit. Yeah. All right.
The guy
This
probably
guy's
fought in
storming-
fucking Vietnam.
Exactly. This guy, Vietnam, he's fucking 80.
He was storming the beaches in Normandy.
Thank you. He's storming the fucking beaches, Carrabis. Like,
Yeah.
that's the kind of people, that's who this dude is. That's who
Yeah.
he is. He's a fucking World War II vet.
Is he
and
really?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I
It was
respect it.
incredible because it's the second World War II vet that I've ever like spent, I guess, an extended period of time with, you know? And like, I'm not asking shit. I'm just listening to stories, but you can just see how like, there's just shit that goes on in those people's heads that we can't even wrap our brain around.
No doubt. Yeah.
Like,
And-
like when you got that dude who's lived that life and at 86 fantasy camp, he gets drilled. Well, we're taking care of business here. We're
yeah.
fucking taking
Why
care of
wouldn't
business.
you? Why wouldn't you? I mean, yeah, you're 86. It's like, you know what? I'm out here to check a box. I'm either gonna get a knock or I'm gonna knock you the fuck out.
well, and that's the thing is these dudes play like in these leagues back home, you know? And so he's like 20.
He's in a
years
league.
old. Oh yeah, dude. Like the stories from these people, Jared, are fucking incredible, dude. We got guys that come from New York that play in the old school leagues where they don't use gloves, where they throw underhand and shit. Like they got those kind of hardball leagues
Yeah.
going on in New York right now. All right. And
Yeah.
fans, we got like, I think it's a brother tandem that do that come out and play fantasy. And like, they were telling me all about that, you know, and I, cause I give them shit and I'm like, hey, you guys ever think about just getting rid of the glove out here? Cause you're fucking terrible. You haven't stopped anything all week long. So I don't know if it's the glove. I don't know what it is, but I mean, that's the kind of like the stories you get are just, it is, dude. It is we've got people that have been coming from Australia for 16 years.
Yeah.
16 years.
People in Australia love baseball. Is that like what's the main sport out there? Like fucking volleyball?
Australian rules football, and then rugby, and then soccer, and then cricket.
So
and then
baseball's not
baseball.
even like in the conversation.
5th tier.
Huh. Like baseball is to Australia as soccer is to America.
No, because we like soccer to an extent over here. Like baseball is popular in Australia, but it's not like country. You know, you don't have the energy or the backing from the nation like you do with Australian rules football and with rugby and with soccer. And it's because soccer being the world game, people understand that there's a national tie to that. But that's where they're trying to take the game of baseball, because there are a lot of incredible ambassadors for the game of baseball. Peter Moylan, incredible ambassador for baseball.
Just
Ryan
talked to him
Rowland
last
Smith,
night.
He's a good dude. Great guy.
Great dude. Tatted.
Yeah, for sure. Grant Balfour. There's a lot of awesome ambassadors for the game of baseball in Australia.
So we started this off by talking about Vlad Guerrero Jr. hitting 3 home runs last night and somehow got into Dallas Braden's numbers against Dustin Pedroia, World War II, and how Australia views the game of baseball.
Yeah, just standard Tuesday morning conversation.
I think it's Wednesday.
You sure about that?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
It is.
You're absolutely right.
Hell yeah. And I genuinely
Hold on. Do you know how I
what?
was doing edibles last night? Hey, I got a gram of weed I want to sell you for $60. You in?
$60?
I mean, if you're a guy that's doing edibles last night, then you're absolutely somebody I could sell a 60 gram. I could sell a $60 gram of weed to. You maybe had some edibles, you dabbled, but so
yeah.
I'm sorry, that was your story and I hijacked it. You were doing
you
edibles
hijacked
last
it.
night.
Say you're sorry again.
I apologize for taking over your doing edibles story. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I ruined your edible story, Jared. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to tell it now.
I want to hear it. Come on.
No, I don't want to tell it.
Yes, tell it.
I don't want to tell it. Nope.
I apologize for making fun of how you consume your edibles. I'm sorry. I wouldn't do it again.
I'm sorry, weed guy Dallas. How would you have phrased it?
I ate a brownie. I ate a cookie.
I mean, they're fucking little gummies. You just do a little edible. That's not that's not a wild way to say that.
You had some gummies. I popped some gummies. You could say that. That right there fits. But when you're like, if you're in a crowd, like if we were at a party and you said that, I'm going to walk you away from the crowd we're with because I don't want them to know that you do edibles. I want them to believe that you pop some gummies. You guys want to go do some beer?
You're trying to be like you're the guy that like listens to like indie music and then when they get popular, you're like, oh, well, I knew about them before they were mainstream, man.
No.
And now they're all mainstream and I don't like it anymore, man.
Matter what edible
they sold out, bruh. They sold out, bruh. They used
doing edibles. People are looking at you like, what else are you doing, you fucking weirdo? Doing edibles?
I think if I said that to a crowd of people, they wouldn't have blinked an eye. They would have been like, all right, yeah.
They'd have been like, well, they wouldn't have blinked. They'd have just said to themselves, oh, doing edibles. First time. Okay, continue.
That's all. I don't think that would have happened.
No, that's what they would have thought to themselves. Oh, he's somebody who does edibles.
Well, I'm not telling that story anymore.
No, this is how you say, like, hey man, last night fucking ate an edible, blah, 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 blah.
I don't like the way that sounds.
Okay. And that's why I said it's your story. So
well, now the story's never getting told.
You can't do that to the people.
Yeah, I can.
You can't.
I mean, you know what? You know what? I'm not doing that to the people. If anyone wants to hear my story, you can blame Dallas for why it didn't get told today.
So you ate an edible last night. You ate multiple edibles last night.
No, just one.
Oh, so you had a gummy?
Yep.
One gummy. You ate one gummy.
I have a very low tolerance.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I wish. You kidding me? I wish. Fuck. So you had one edible, you had one gummy.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit 3 home runs last night.
Tell us the gummy story. I'm not moving on until I hear the gummy story.
No.
Then we're done. Say goodbye to the people.
We're done. That's the story.
Give me what you had. So you had one gummy, and then what happened? Vlad hit 1, then Vlad hit 2, and then Vlad hit 3, and you needed to check yourself into somewhere.
No, it had nothing to do with Vlad.
Okay.
This was like later in the evening.
Okay. So tell me. I mean, I think I have an idea of what happened, but I want to hear.
What happened?
I don't know. You were getting ready to tell us.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit 3 home runs last night.
I'm not moving on.
He's now hitting 360.
Tell the edible story, Jared. Tell the edible story.
Well, now that you've hyped it up, it's not really that crazy anymore. Like you've put it on such a pedestal that it's not really that crazy anymore.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I just made fun of the way that you consume your edibles. You're a big doer of edibles. That's all. No big deal. There's no shame in that.
That's like saying, do you want to go do some beers?
Right. That's what I said 10 fucking minutes ago.
Yeah, but people say that.
Well, I don't say that. Nobody says that. We'll go do some beers.
A lot of people say that.
What are you doing right now?
What do you want to go do some beers?
We'll go have some beers. You are unbelievable. The people are going to feel robbed. I just want you to know that. You want to talk about Vlad cakes? You want to move on from doing your edibles?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
I think I feel like I'm going to come out on the other side of this. A lot of people agreeing with my phrasing.
Nobody that has consumed cannabis with any sort of consistency is going to agree.
That's fine. That's fine.
Well, that would not have you coming out on the other end of that, but that's okay.
I'm not
Tell
mainstream.
us about Vlad.
Not mainstream.
So the guy who's knocking me for my indie approach is telling me that he's not mainstream. Huh? Oh, okay.
Well, you went mainstream.
No, I didn't. You sold
you
out.
Did. No, you sold out. Your Kiss.
Hey, I feel. Are you doing edibles right now?
That's who you are. You're Kiss right now. You're the Rolling Stones. You sold out.
Tell me about Vlad cakes, Carrabis.
He had 3 home runs.
What else happened?
Blue Jays won. They're 500 right now. 500 ball club.
Do we have any numbers surrounding father-son combos taking Cy Young winners deep?
Ooh. I don't know. I feel like you asked that because you saw it somewhere. Did you not see that? I didn't see that.
No, I didn't see that. I just thought about that question right now. Like,
Damn,
I mean, because the question's been
if only
posed
we
on
had a
Twitter.
fucking nerd on this podcast that did research for numbers.
No, research department has taken a massive cut.
massive cut.
Yeah, they've all but squashed the research department here at Starting Nine.
I feel like we could use the research department.
Yeah, because we know that Griffey, the father-son duo terrorized pitchers, and they've hit homers off the same guy. But off a Cy Young
Did you
winner?
see those Griffey sneakers? The junior senior sneakers?
What do you mean junior senior sneakers?
Yeah. Like it's like Ken Griffey junior senior sneakers.
What are you talking about?
I'm
What,
surprised.
That's what I'm talking. What do you mean? You talking about the all black jackies? That's not what you're talking about.
No.
What are you talking about? What?
I want to say that they were white. Let me see.
I've got every fucking pair of Griffies that they make. What are you talking about?
Guess what? No, you fucking don't.
That's why we've got a problem right now.
Oh, they're right here.
What are you looking at?
Gonna need these Griffey Jr. Senior kicks immediately.
Where are they?
Steve Peralt tweeted these 22 hours ago. I'm gonna send them to you right now. Let's see, Dallas. Yeah, look at those.
Oh, okay. So these are Air Force Ones. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I don't know where these. I mean, when did Nike? Yeah, has Nike dropped these yet? No.
I'm asking for more information right now. I mean, those are pretty sick. Like, if you haven't seen it, there's baseball seams going down the back. The left sneaker says junior. Yep, junior on the left, senior on the right. It's got 24 on the junior shoe. It's got 30 on the senior shoe. The black swoosh. It's got some gold trim.
Yeah, I mean, if these are on sale right now to the general public, I mean, they're mine right now.
Okay. So, Nike honors Mariners teammates Ken Griffey Jr. and Senior with this upcoming Air Force One.
Yeah. When do they drop? That's all I need. I'm going to the sneaker app. The one that doesn't work. Saw that Big Cat missed out on his baby blues today. Tough scene. Tough scene.
I don't see the drop day.
And they don't even have them on the Nike app on the upcoming. I mean, come on, be better. Fuck.
I don't see the date. Where the fuck's the date? As of right now, the release date is not certain, but we expect these to drop during the 2021 MLB season.
Oh, thanks.
In other Griffey news, it looks like the majority of stores have postponed the Air Griffey Max 1 Royal to May 29th.
Love. You know what I think is going to happen?
What?
I think that there's going to be a charge and a push around the Griffey like there has been for so long with the Jordan. Am I putting those two shoes or those two things on the same planet? No.
No, you're not.
What I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing.
No.
But I am telling you that I do believe with Griffey's involvement in the game of baseball now and his tie to the commissioner's office, the fact that he will be forward facing in a more prominent role moving forward, this gives baseball an opportunity to create a merchandise stream and a merchandise arm, if you will, that reaches back out to the youth in a way that baseball has not done in any way since the motherfucker retired. Think about that.
I mean, I love it. You don't have to
think about that though. Like, what have I been doing? What have I been telling you about the shoe market and the shoe game for baseball players? Right? The Francisco Lindor,
it's terrible.
New Balance. Please, for fuck's sake, send me a goddamn pair of the Lindors. I can't find them anywhere, and guys just don't wear the same size. I just need a 12. But the Lindors,
You were a 12?
12 and a half, 13.
Are you shitting me?
Anywhere from a 12 to a 13.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
You're not even that big.
I got huge feet.
Why? Did you get fucking toe extension surgery? There's no
I got big feet and long arms. My wingspan's like 7 fucking something.
That's preposterous.
I just look weird. But I told you about the shoes and the tie that it can have to the youth in the game, what it can mean to grow the game. Like the fact that I walk in to a Dick's Sporting Goods and there's no big vestibule with Bryce Harper's face on it or Mike Trout's face on it, and their shoes lined up with next to Francisco Lindor. And why doesn't that happen? Why isn't that happening? And now that you have Griffey, like I said, involved in the commissioner's office, involved in the game, he's going to be involved in initiatives to try to bring baseball back out of out of the mud, frankly, as far as youth is concerned. So now you got a shoe. Now you got a shoe that you can just continue to pump out like Jordans. You rebrand them, different colorways. Like that's what's going to happen. It's coming. We've already seen it. It's coming. It's here. Fuck it. Not coming.
I have no idea. If I were a baseball shoe company, like if I were Nike and I've got Bryce Harper's or Mike Trout's or Francisco Lindor shoes, how are you not reaching out to brand influencers immediately being as someone that we had the conversation a year ago. I was I didn't even know Bryce Harper made sneakers. Or Mike Trout. I had no fucking idea. I'm sure that they all had their own model of cleats and shit like that. But for sneakers, I had no fucking clue. How are you not reaching out? I think New Balance, they made when the Red Sox won the World Series, they made these pair of New Balances that had 2018 World Champs on them, and they just sent me a pair. It's how are you not reaching out to these YouTubers and podcasters and people that are big on Twitter in the baseball space and giving them shoes to be hey, go show these off.
I don't know why they don't just send out shoes. I mean, I already did Nike a favor. I made him a fucking commercial.
What did you do?
That damn thing could have won awards, Carrabis.
I didn't see what you did. What did you do?
I made the Nike commercial where I was in my pond and I was fishing. And wouldn't you know it, I caught an awesome pair of Nikes worn by Mike Trout.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. I didn't see this video though, so I don't know.
Oh, you need to go to my Instagram and check out the Nike video, the Nike tennis shoe video that I did for Mike Trout. I mean,
when was this?
Right before baseball season started, I believe.
Okay. I mean, you post a lot.
I do. Well, a lot of tennis shoes. A lot of views from the office, Carrabis.
Yeah. There's a lot going on here. There's nothing wrong with that. Content is king.
Have you not seen
yeah. That's where I'm at though. Why are sneakers not bigger in the baseball world?
It's honestly, and it's weird, but in basketball, NBA guys that have their shoe, if you have your own shoe, there's guys on your team that will rock your shoe.
Yeah.
Like unapologetically, like they're not embarrassed. They don't feel like less of a man because they're wearing your brand shoe. Like it's honestly like
if
cool,
Matt Olson had a shoe and it was just like some sort of like play on the green and gold colors, like I would buy that. I would.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And like even like the Lindor shoe. I have no idea what it looks like. But if it was like if it had like some like purple, like orange, like common, like I would get that.
Dude, look up the Lindor New Balance turf right now. It's awesome. It's aggressive. I don't know that you would rock it.
A lot of my sneakers are like funky colors. Like I'm not buying.
So then this might be.
Wait, this thing right here, like the pink and the orange and like the teal.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I fucking love this shoe. I've never. Yeah. Oh God, Dallas.
They're nasty.
Why? Like, all right, I'm putting this on us. I mean, we don't even get like
I've done everything I fucking can. I've done everything I can.
This is not like a paid advertisement. This is not. I mean, I love this shoe.
The Lindor is, dude, put it like this. Carrabis, I've asked guys around the game, and they're like, dude, like they're dope. But I tell you what, nobody's getting them. You want to know why? Because nobody wants to wear another dude's shoe from another team.
Oh. The New Balance 2 WXY pink turquoise men's basketball shoe?
What is that? I don't know if we're looking at the same thing. Like Cole Calhoun?
Yeah.
Used to rock the shit out of the Mike Trouts. Tommy LaStella rocked the shit out of the Mike Trouts. I would be rocking it all fucking day.
Yeah, why not?
If I was a teammate of a guy who had a sick shoe, let's be real. I'm not getting my own shoe. So yeah, let me get your shoe. Holler at your boy.
They need to. They really need to do something about this.
But dude, like I would rock. That's what I wear, man. Like around town, at home, like the shoes that I have in circulation. If I'm out and about, it's either the Harpers or it's the Trouts. Like I got the Trouts. That's what I wear to the ballpark. I'll put other shoes on, whatever. But like walking around all day. What? I'm going to take
what do the Bryce Harper shoes look like?
They're Under Armour. They're fucking sick.
Okay. Maybe that's the problem too, is that I feel like a lot of people, like when they go to buy sneakers, they're just conditioned to get Nikes, and a lot of these baseball guys have like New Balance or Under Armour.
Mm-hmm. But I think
is Trout Nike?
Trout's Nike. Yeah, Trout's Nike. Have you seen him? Have you seen the Trouts?
No, I haven't seen. I've never seen a baseball sneaker in my fucking life. Oh yeah, those are pretty sick. I mean, they're a little plain for me. Like I like funky more. That feels like more like a gym shoe than anything else. But
yeah,
well, I mean, those are sick. I do like those.
And that's what I wear it for, to walk down to the gym.
Yeah. I'd rather have like a flashier, like a basketball sneaker.
Yeah. Well, and so like, dude, like, I just don't understand it. Like the Trout stuff is, how do you not have his cleat available to be customized in any colorway anybody would want? I'm like, straight up, if Nike allowed that, if they did that, my high school team would wear Mike Trout cleats every fucking year. I would buy them for them every fucking year. But they don't. They don't even allow it.
I want to continue this conversation about Mike Trout really quick. But I see that you've got those Shady Rays tucked into your shirt right now.
You know the deal.
Where the fuck did you get those?
Well, Jared, you know what's upon us, don't you? You know.
A lot of things are upon us. Summertime.
It's not summer. Spring is upon us. Summer is coming. Summer is knocking on the door. Might as well be summer. My children think it's summer. They're swimming in 62-degree water right now. So it's summer in their world. Might as well be summer in our world. And that's where Shady Rays comes into play, because spring, summer, sunglass season / sunglass losing season. And we'll get to that in a minute. But the idea is that Shady Rays has never understood. I have never understood why in the hell sunglasses are so goddamn expensive. Well, Shady Rays said, you know what? We're here to change that. So Shady Rays, being the independent sunglass company they are, they do shit their way, their own way. They don't adhere to the societal norms, Carrabis. They're not going to be put in to a box. And that is very, very rare in this industry these days. Shady Rays are premium polarized shades at a fraction of the cost. They don't cost what your shit with all that designer be. No. You're not dealing with those price tags, people. And that is already a victory. No need to overpay for sunglasses these days. They don't hold up in the outdoors. You're going to end up losing them anyway. You're just going to get roughed up, broken and shit. You're going to be pissed off that you spent all that money on sunglasses that you can't use, that don't even look cool at this point. Craziest thing about Shady Rays is their warranty, which is why I'm talking shit about all the other places that don't have this kind of warranty, because this is the strongest, if not the strongest warranty in all of eyewear. So replacements, when, you might ask. Your shades are lost, done deal. Your shades are broken, done deal. It doesn't matter what happens. How many times have you been on the dock getting ready to get in the boat and you've lost your sunglasses? Now the boat trip sucks. Eyeballs on fire. You get shit-faced. You can't dodge the sun. It's not a great spot to be in on the water with no sunglasses. The reflection riding the boat. You think you're going to go out on the bow and enjoy that wind blowing in your face with no sunglasses on? You're fucking higher than I am if you think so. Not going to happen. So it doesn't matter where you drop them. Ocean, river, meat grinder. Shady Rays has got you back. They'll replace them. Try that with your high-price shades. Not going to happen. Even with that strong of a warranty, they still manage to make quality shades. That is the best part. Aside from the warranty that's going to lock you in, regardless, you can get hit by a fucking cannon and your sunglasses are replaceable. And they start at just $48. Shady Rays also provides 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order placed, and have donated already over 15 million meals to date. 15 million. They stand behind their product. This is a group you can get on board with. So change the way you wear your sunglasses and join the team that has your back for life. Shady Rays is running their deepest deal of the season, and it's exclusively for us. Okay, just us. You listen, it's for you, it's for Jared and I, but it's for us together. The code 9 NINE. That's going to get you 50% off 2 or more pair. 50% off, people. Buy one, get one free. You can get 2 pairs for $48. You go to shadyrays.com. That's where you can find all their newest and best shades and enter promo code 9. Got it? Shadyrays.com. 9. 50% off. 2 for the price of 1. Secure your sunglasses, people.
Yeah, I love the Shady Rays. It's a big time move. If you're out there at the ballpark, sitting in the bleachers, absolutely need to get you some Shady Rays at a great deal as well. But this motherfucker Mike Trout, I feel like it's hard to explain. It's hard to put it into words. Like, I'm not one of those Mike Trout is boring per se guys, but I think we're just so personality wise, no doubt he's boring, but like his style of play, like people will say like his style of play is boring. When you're conditioned to see like Fernando Tatis Jr. and Ronald Acuna Jr., by comparison, yeah, he's a little boring. But like if you're boiling it down to just watching baseball, how can you not be entertained? How can you not sit there in awe of a guy like Mike Trout, who every single year, when you're already having these conversations, like when would you say was the first time that we were having the conversation about Mike Trout being in the conversation to be the greatest player of all time? Like he was like 24.
6 years ago, 7 years ago. Like when I I always go when the only way the dude is losing out on multiple MVPs before he's fucking 25 years old or whatever it is because some other dude is winning a triple crown. Yeah.
And he still had a better season.
Pay attention. So we've been having that conversation for a long time. It feels like, and it's true, that Mike Trout, and I always say this, right, has been better than half the dead guys in the Hall of Fame already.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been having that conversation for a very long time. The reason that the boring title gets attached to him is, and I'll say, because it's been a while since we've seen Mike Trout physically do things that make you gasp, like stealing bases with frequency or crazy catches in the outfield. And things have happened where he's adjusted his game to provide some longevity for himself. But on the heels of being told you're not going to be a Gold Glove caliber defender, he's up the ante defensively. You're starting to see him lay out for balls where you haven't seen that necessarily before. And there's reasons for that. They're protecting him. They want Mike Trout at the plate 600 times. They don't give a shit about him making 4 or 5 awesome defensive plays in center field over the course of the season. So when you talk about Tatis and you talk about other guys who are energetic in their style of play, and that captures the attention of people, that's one thing that Trout just doesn't have in his favor. But if you are okay with him not bat flipping, and if you're okay with him not being super energetic after a double or even a triple and celebrating and fist pumping and pointing to the sky and like, and if you just accept what he's doing, it is unreal. It's on another level again. And to think that we put Mike Trout, let me rephrase that, to think that Mike Trout has put himself on a planet all his own and is now building a space station and a rocket ship to take off from that planet and go to another one. We're not even going to be able to see this dude with the fucking Hubble telescope for too long, Carrabis. He's going to be in a completely different universe. He already is.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Like there's just part of me, and we've had this conversation before about how he just is what he is. And he's already been in the league for 11 years, which I feel like we also don't appreciate that, like that he's been around the block by now. He's in his 11th big league season. He's 29 years old. I think we're still in that phase where it's like, well, we still have prime years left of Mike Trout. And like just something about like the Ronald Acuna Jr. home run that he hit on Tuesday night, where I think it was like 480 something feet, crushes it. And he does the slow walk out of the blocks, casual bat flip. And then he just like rolled his shoulders as if he just put like a sport coat on or something like that. You'll never see Mike Trout do that. And on one hand, you wish that he would be more flashy and have that swagger to him like Tatis and Acuna do. But at the same time, he's been in the league for 11 years. So if he just started doing it, then you'd be like, this is like, it's like Bauer. It's like, this is a little forced. Like
Right.
you weren't always doing this. Now you're doing this because you're either caving to people saying that you should be doing it, or you're seeing other people doing it. And now they're getting more attention than you. So now people will be like, well, is he insecure that people don't think he's the face of Mike Trout? Does not fucking care if you think he's the face of baseball. He does not care if you think he's boring. He just is. He's the greatest. He's the greatest baseball player of all time. And he's playing right now. So for me, I've had to get over that. I've had to get over my want and my need for him to be flashy and to be exciting and electric. The words that we use for Soto and Tatis and Acuna.
Have you come to terms with that? Have you come to terms with that?
Yep.
And I think that is important. And here is why. Because every ball player that steps on the field doesn't have the personality of a Soto, of a Tatis, of an Acuna Jr. And that is okay. That is more than okay. And for every kid who is trying to figure out who they are personality-wise, who they are baseball player-wise, at times those two worlds can collide, start to bleed together. And it's not always necessarily positive, because maybe you have to be a certain way on the playing field. And now that starts to bleed into who you are at school with your friends, or, just chilling with the homies. And that guy might not be a good dude to hang out with, because you have to trick yourself into being somebody on the mound or on the field that you're just not in other places. So people who might not have that energy start to create it out of a false sense, and it could fall on deaf ears. It could rub people the wrong way, because it's just not who that person is. And for everybody that's trying to figure out if it's okay that they bat flip, or if it's okay that they exude some sort of energy, other kids need to know that it's okay that you don't have to do that. Like, you hit a home run, you're not weird for not wanting to throw your bat over the fence. You're not weird for not having, 4 different handshakes with all of your teammates. It's okay. Mike Trout provides an example of how it's okay to just be really good and go about your business like it's normal, like it's every day. How that whole cliche lives on, to act like you've been there. And that's some things that people struggle with, trying to figure out who they are. So I just want folks to realize, when people show up to the ballpark, they're watching players who entertain them. They're watching players who they like, and players do certain things that capture the attention of people. Mike Trout, the way he plays the game of baseball, is so fun to watch for people who love the game. Might not be entertaining on the level that other guys are, but Mike Trout's presence in the game of baseball is the beacon that folks can look to and say, you don't have to have all of this flash that people think you have to have these days. You can still just be good and keep your head down and keep it moving.
Yeah. I mean, with
that's what it looks like.
With a guy like Trout, it's just a different flavor. It's a different, it's one of the best flavors, but it just tastes different. And I think with, having the chance to actually watch him, because I know that that's one of the most commonly used excuses for why people aren't into Mike Trout as much. It's like, oh, he's on the West Coast and he's not in our division, or, we don't really see him that often. You can seek him out if you want to. I mean, the same people that were saying, oh, Mike Trout's on the West Coast and, it's hard to stay up and seek him out to actually watch him play. A lot of those same people, they were watching Dodgers Padres last weekend because they saw the excitement that everyone else had generated from that and wanted to be a part of it. So I guess it's more on people, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But if you would look at these fucking numbers, he's in his age 29 season, and coming into this year, we had already had the discussion. He's the greatest of all time. He's an active Hall of Famer. And compiling his 10 seasons and comparing them to guys who are already in the Hall of Fame, and seeing how much better he is than guys that are already in the Hall of Fame with maybe another 10 years to go in his big league career. But you look at some of the numbers that he's put up to this point, starting off the month of April, his best April ever, a guy that already has 10 years in the big leagues. He's hitting, actually, you know what? Do you know offhand? Because I want you to guess. Do you know offhand what the numbers are?
What he's hitting right now?
Yeah.
No, I know it's
okay.
North of 400.
Okay. So he's hitting 431. What's his on base?
520.
538 to lead the league. What's he slugging?
Oh, fuck. I don't know. I'm just going to be obscene here. 775.
815 to lead the league.
I was going to say 800, but I thought even that was just a little ridiculous.
Yeah, he's slugging 815 to lead the league. And obviously it's like a 13 something OPS, which also leads the league.
Yeah.
OPS plus of 277. And yeah, I mean, this is just, that's what he does. What he does.
It is as consistent as can be. He is up with the rooster, man, every day without fail.
I don't even have to look to know that he's leading the majors in wins
Everything.
above replacement, but I just want to know by how much. Like, how much better is he than everyone else already? I mean, if Mike Trout is having the best statistical April that he's ever had, then he's gonna be almost at like a 2 WAR. Yeah, 1.9.
So look at so
but surprisingly, there is someone who has a 1.8 F WAR. Who is it? If Mike Trout is at 1.9, who's at 1.8? Don't overthink it.
There's no way it's Ohtani.
No, fuck no. Not that slop he was throwing the other night.
What are you talking about? 3 runs in the first inning. He went on to
Four.
dominate. 3 earned. Fuck, I don't know. Not
You were way overthinking it right now. It's like whatever is the most obvious answer, that's the answer. People are screaming at their fucking cars right now, screaming at their laptops.
Is it Acuna?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Vladdy's right there, 1.7.
Yeah, I could see Acuna. Just an absolute torrid pace he was on earlier.
I mean, think about it this way. Mike Trout is having the best April of his entire career, and Ronald Acuna Jr. is right up his ass.
Yeah, I mean, there are a ton of numbers here that we could get into that really kind of lay out Mike Trout's greatness. Just the fact that he is continuing to get better at this stage in his
He's a
career.
robot. That's why he doesn't like pimp homers and celebrate and scream and shit. It's because he's an actual fucking robot.
And here's the other thing, like the adjustments he's making to the top of the strike zone to how he's been attacked. It's almost like one of those, all right, you guys can have a year or so, maybe a couple to try to take advantage of this here, because I am going to be making an adjustment. And when I make that adjustment, it's going to be over for you bitches. Like, I'm not just going to ease my way into this adjustment. I'm going to be grinding on it. I'm going to be working on it. And you might be able to take advantage of it at times while I'm working on it. But when I feel like I've made that adjustment, it's fucking go time. And now he's getting to pitches in the top of the zone. He's hitting pitches in the top of the zone. He's hitting them out of the ballpark. And now you're starting to go, well, if I really only had one area that I could attack you in, and it kind of feels like you're taking that away, feels like you're getting better.
Yeah. That's why
scary.
That's why like Twitter accounts like Pitching Ninja are so important to baseball fandom, because if you're following someone like me, you're just going to see dudes crushing homers left and right. But when you follow a guy like Pitching Ninja, now what you're seeing is the most disgusting shit that the league has to offer with the overlays. So you're seeing the same arm slot, you're seeing the same arm speed, and you're sometimes seeing pitches end up in the exact same location, but taking 2 wildly different paths to get there. And the hitter, for the most part, not knowing which pitch it is. Is it a 2-seamer? Is it a slider? Is it a curveball? Is it a fastball? So that's why if you're just watching, if you're a baseball fan that's just consuming baseball through highlights, you can't really have a true appreciation for what Mike Trout is doing, because when you do watch those pitcher highlights and the overlays and you see these disgusting swings and misses and the movement on some of these pitches from a ton of guys in the league, you get a true appreciation for just how hard it is to succeed at the major league level as a position player, as a hitter. And when you take all that into account, and then you look at the offensive numbers that Mike Trout has put together so far, that's what's really mind-blowing. It's not like, damn, hot start by Mike Trout. You know, he's hitting 431 with a 13-something OPS. Like, that's crazy, right? It's like, No. It actually is crazy when you look at the strikeout numbers being through the roof at all-time highs. Guys are swinging out of their goddamn asses, coming up with absolutely nothing across the board. Everyone's doing it. Striking out, it's in right now. Mike Trout just didn't get the memo, didn't get the message.
He's okay with it. And this quote at the end of the article here is all time. And he said this on the 23rd. He said, "Once I dial it in, it should be a fun year." He said that on April 23rd. It was 5 days ago. Once I dial it in.
Yeah, I'm not even locked in yet.
Little WIP here, just a little work in progress. Once I dial it in, it should be a fun year. The greatest living baseball player ever is telling you, as he sits today, slashing what? 426, 500, fucking 800.
He's hitting 431, 538 on base, 815 slug, 1353 OPS.
Yeah, that guy is telling you that once he starts to get his shit together, that's when you should.
It's over for
you,
right now.
No, not right now. He's still working on something. He's like a parrot, just practicing a word up in the corner of his cage. Don't listen too closely. Wait till tomorrow when he's confident. Then ask him to say it. And he's gonna recite pi to the fucking 48th place. Oh, Mike Trout. God bless him.
Mike Trout.
God bless us for being able to
you
watch.
couldn't even put up these numbers in MLB The Show.
No, and I'm trying. I'm doing everything I can. I'm making the fucking littlest ballpark possible. Doing everything I can to try to promote, to try to get my guy promoted. Can I get him to the Grandes? And the best part about this, Jared, is I get to do it against folks that I was never able to play MLB The Show with before. And it's because they were Xbox people. Well, that doesn't matter now because you go to GameStop, you get the game. Doesn't matter if it's for Xbox, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, the Xbox One, Series S, whatever platform you're rocking. MLB The Show is just waiting for you to come a knocking. So if you're into the custom scene like I am, where you're trying to create a cathedral, a monumental place for baseball bashing to go down, maybe you just like to play all the first inning promos. Maybe you like to do all the other stuff aside from building baseball parks. Well, now's the time. And remember, if you don't have this in store, you can go online, free same day delivery with GameStop. Yeah, free same day delivery. So right now, you got online, ordered, delivered to you right now. Boom. Later tonight, we're playing. You're getting your ass kicked by me. That's what can happen. And again, doesn't matter. PlayStation, Xbox, we all get to play together. So you who've been missing out on the experience of cross-gen, cross-play between Xbox and PlayStation, you don't have to miss out anymore. Pick your favorite postseason moments you want to play. Maybe you just want to run your ball player through the gamut. Like I said, get him to the show. You can only do that by going to GameStop and picking up the show or free online same-day delivery. GameStop, MLB The Show, get it in your life so I can crush you.
Are you going to do that? I'm gonna learn how to be good at this game. I'm just gonna fuck you up, and you're just when you least expect it.
That'll never happen. Jesus Luzardo won't even play me anymore.
No,
he got beat. He got absolutely hammered last year, and he won't jump on the sticks with me anymore. That's good. What you got. That's what you got waiting for you. And
you're ruining the confidence of your own. You're detrimental to the success of the Oakland A's.
No, I'm not. It's back to the drawing board. You got to learn how to get better.
Nope.
That's what it's all about.
Absolutely not. You are absolutely detrimental to the success of the Oakland A's. But we did tease a Corbin Burnes interview at the top of the show. Obviously, he's in the middle of a historic run, so we appreciate him taking the time to hop on starting nine. But the starting nine bump, it does absolutely wonderful things to individuals in this beautiful game that we call baseball. So, Corbin Burnes, without further ado, our interview right now. All right, we got Corbin Burnes
Hey-o.
of my Milwaukee Brewers. I can't even begin to explain to you how amped up I get on Corbin Burnes Day. I don't know if you're not like you. I know that you're on Instagram. I've seen that you quote tweeted the Barstool article the other day. Have you ever heard of a little It's okay if you haven't. Have you ever heard of a little program by the name of Morning Wood?
I actually have not. No, that's
okay.
A new one to me.
So Morning Wood is the little show that we do over here, and every morning we put out the highlights from the action the night before, and then I welcome the audience by saying happy insert name of pitcher that's going today. And whenever you're going, it's always happy Corbin Burnes Day. It's always happy Corbin Burnes Day because it is exciting to watch you pitch. How has it been for you since the start of last year? Because this has been like a whirlwind tour, like coming in with the Brewers, and it's just like it is a day. It is a day that we celebrate here in Milwaukee.
It's been really fun. We've got a great group of guys to come to the clubhouse every day and to be around some of those guys, and we've got a pretty good turnover from last year. This year obviously has been a lot more fun with the fans in the stands and guys showing some more emotion. And, I think we're kind of seeing it across the league. I saw a couple of quotes the other day from the Bauer Tatis matchup. And so I think everyone loves to see it. And it's obviously a lot more fun for the players to have some fans back in the stands versus the empty stadiums we were playing in.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I love to see is progression, and we're gonna get to this year. I mean, at some point in time, something clicks for a guy. I understand that. You are obviously very understanding of that, because if we look at 2019, if we're just calling spades here, Corb, you're getting your ass kicked a little bit. And I have been there, my man, where there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Something clicked though, because you started handing out ass whippings and you just haven't stopped. So what was it for you? Was it paying attention to the command? Was it paying attention to something mechanically, paying attention to something in terms of preparation? But what was it that you can go back to, if you can, and pinpoint and was like, this is what turned me in to the beast you're dealing with today?
I think it was a combination of things, but more importantly, I think it was just the mindset, the mentality. After you kind of get kicked in the face there in 19, it was, it got to the point that the Brewers were like, hey, go to Arizona, just kind of get away from baseball. I mean, that's that was kind of the nice way was, hey, let's go back and try to get a routine and go to the pitching lab. But it was basically like, hey, just take a step away from the game. I mean, it's nothing is going right. You have one good outing and then you have 5 that are just horrible to follow. So stepping away from the game. And when I was able to go back to Arizona is when I kind of focused on the mind game. Started working with Brian Kane, who has worked with some of the elite athletes, not only in baseball but just in all sports. Yep. To see what he did and kind of get the same training that he gave to even a lot of his MMA guys and other baseball guys. Just the mindset was huge for me. It allowed me to kind of unlock some of the things that I have as a pitcher. Obviously I knew the stuff was good and it was there. And basically it was like, hey, you've got the stuff to do it. Go out and attack. And just getting that attacking mindset has just completely changed everything for me the last 2 years.
Like, did you ever have that conversation with yourself where you're like, yo, guy, your shit is absolutely filthy. Like, what are we doing here? Like, let's tighten this up. Let's go. Like, what was that moment in time for you where you have that, like, sort of come to Jesus, like, all right, we got to make a decision here. We got to make a decision.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just me. I mean, it was the Brewers. It was family. It was like, dude, look at this slider. Look at this. Even the curveball. Like, look at this. Like, guys should not be hitting this. Then the numbers on it are even like, hey, they're not hitting it. So for me, it was like, what can we do to help out the slider? And that's where this sinker and this cutter were born. And we've been able to kind of put everything in the past, I would say, but I don't completely forget about all of it. That's something that part of my mindset is, hey, let's not go back to that. I mean, let's recall the good stuff, recall the good 18, the good 20, and go out and just attack the zone. And it's been a completely different picture.
So obviously, that the streak has taken on a life of its own. It's a lot of what baseball fans are talking about these days. Like, will Corbin Burnes walk a batter? And like, are you going out there? Like, I would imagine you're not thinking about it. Like, I would imagine that like if it happens, it happens, and it's not the end of the world, because you also don't want to put yourself almost at a disadvantage where you found yourself in a couple of 3-2 counts last night. You end up punching out both guys, but like they're aware of the streak. So it's like, well, now I feel like I have a heater coming and I feel like it's going to be in the strike zone. Like that almost becomes an advantage to the hitter. So are you thinking about like this is in like, I have to be unafraid to walk a guy at some point?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be certain points in the game that come up that, a walk is going to be better than giving a nice, juicy fastball over the plate. We've gotten to that point a couple times where it's like, hey, you know what? I'm in a 2-0 count here. I got open base. I'm going to be smart and pitch around this guy. And it just so happened that we were able to, to not end up walking him. But yeah, you're never going up there thinking, oh, gosh, I really don't want to walk this guy. It's 2-0, like it's 3-0. Now I'm in trouble. No, as soon as you get to there, get to that point, I'm sure Dallas can talk about this too. It's like, once you get to that point, it's like, I mean, you're host. You've already walked the guy. As soon as you're going 3-0, God, I don't want to walk this guy. You're toast. So for me, I think yesterday against Birdie, I think it was the first time that we went 2-0, and I think I heard some guys in the dugout were like, "Oh, we're gonna get a walk. Like this is gonna be the first walk." And it's just like, I think after the punch out, I kind of shook my head like, "No, I'm not ready to do that yet."
I love that. So you got the rabbit ears up. You can hear a little bit. That was the first time I'd heard anything. Yeah. So then what's going through your dome when you're getting bled to death out there? Because I've been there as well. You're making your pitches, you're executing, and that's the kick. I mean, let's be real. That's the kick in the dick is you're executing and they're fighting it off and it's happening. And to Jared's point, what I wanted to ask you before Jared hit you with that was, are you superstitious? I was going to just, stick the pinky in. Are you superstitious? Like, how do you feel about it? But we found out. So what are you thinking? Like, is there any shift in mindset there? Kind of like Jared was talking about, like, look, I'm getting fucking bled to death, so I'm not going to end up walking these dudes. Like, what do I got to do here?
Yeah. I mean, it happens to everyone, at least. Gosh, I would like to say it's only going to happen to me once all year, but it's probably going to happen again. It's just one of those things as a pitcher that, when hitters get on a roll, you hear it all the time, hitting's contagious. And I think it was kind of the telltale sign of the very first inning when Chisholm rolled over a cutter to second base and the ball hit something and trampolined over Wong's
head. A gopher, I believe, a gopher.
Gopher, squirrel, something ran across the field at that time. But I think that was kind of the point, like, hey, it could be a tough night, and we were able to settle in there for 5 innings. And once we got to the 6th, we were making some good pitches. And I mean, Aggie hit a 65-mile-an-hour ball that that landed in the right field, and a couple other weak contact. And it's just one of those things, like, gosh, you got to do whatever you can to try to stop it. And last night we just weren't able to.
How cool is it to dominate at the big league level and then go back to listen or watch the game footage with Bob Uecker's voice over it?
Uecker's awesome. Gosh, he was in the clubhouse telling stories yesterday about, listening to guys talk about when he was still playing, and guys telling him that he was basically not going to make it, go get another job. And I mean, Uecker's he's in the clubhouse every day, and I don't think I've heard him repeat a story twice. I mean, it's incredible the amount of stories he has, not only from playing, from broadcasting, from his movies, doing Major League. I mean, he's got all kinds of stories, and it's whenever he comes in the clubhouse, there ends up being 3 or 4 guys sitting around listening to you talk. It's unbelievable.
He's the best.
How's the reception been for you as things like this have unfolded for you with the fan base? Because I believe there's moments in time, there's performances, there's lack of performances that can actually bring players and fan bases together. And however active you are on social media, but what has the reception been like with this fan base that you've been growing with? Because they've experienced the struggles, and now they're being treated to a dude who, when he has locked in and has focused on them, like, you're a fucking animal, and they get to see this every 5 days. How's that been, that relationship developing?
I mean, it's been awesome. I think recently the Brewers were voted with the better fan base in baseball.
Facts.
It shows, and it shows. They love their Brewers baseball. They love Wisconsin sports in general. Bucks, Packers, the Badgers, whatever it may be. They just love sports, and I think last year not being able to come to games in person was tough on them. So I think this year, however many, how much capacity we could have in the stadium, they filled up every day. Gosh, I remember, I think it was opening day. It was like the 5th inning, and they were standing on their feet like it was, September stretch, and we're pushing for the postseason. It was opening day. It's like, this is game 1 of 162. But no, the fans here are awesome. And I think last night was probably the one of the louder times I heard him get was when we went from, I think it was 3-0 to birdie and came back to punch him out. I mean, it was unbelievable. It's like, again, it's October baseball, and it was,
that lets you know
like the 5th inning of the game.
Well, they're riding with you though, bro. That's the thing,
Yeah.
is they're riding with you. You know what I mean? They're living and dying with every single pitch you throw. Not even, I mean, everybody else as well, but you each and every time out. That's why I asked, is because I hear it, and Jared is a huge Milwaukee stan, and so I get to hear it every day from his ass too. But just you get to feel, you can feel the vibe, and that's why I wanted to know, because I know that's important, especially for players this year coming back into that environment with fans around you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome. And I mean, they welcome anyone. Colton Wong was playing on the Cardinals for the last 7 or 8 years, and all of a sudden he comes over here and he's a god. They love him. It's just one of those things that as soon as you put on a Brewers uniform, I don't think it really matters what you've done in the past. It's not, it's like, hey, he's in the blue and gold now. Let's go. So it's pretty awesome.
So you're a hard throwing righty. So I got to know who is the idol growing up? Who was the guy that you could not miss start day growing up?
It's funny you say the big hard throwing righty, because I loved watching Jared Weaver.
He's been on the podcast before, and I mean, you get in the wrong way of him, and he'll light you up with 86.
Hey, it's
that's what I loved about him. I grew up an Angels fan, and I loved watching It didn't matter who you were. He got in the box, and he was going to attack with his 85 and big hook at 70, and just go to work. And I mean, I loved watching him grow up. And then I always watched film on Nolan Ryan, so that I guess that could be your hard throwing righty. But I think more than anything, I just loved watching how we would attack lineups with 84 to 87.
So you're from
Bakersfield.
You're from Bakersfield. That's right. Yeah. From Bakersfield. What did I read? Centennial High.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I know some folks over at Garces High. I don't hold that against me. I moved down there to rehab. So is this where the haircut comes from? Because when I saw LA Bakersfield, I felt like you might have just thrown Bakersfield up there to not tell people you're really from Oildale. So I mean, where does the haircut come from? And when does Corbin Burnes mullet day kick off on the promo schedule? And Jared and I will need one of those.
The hair is it's been back and forth. It started in college. I've got a ridiculous picture for me in college. I've got a mohawk, and it was horrible from freshman year. It was probably something that the juniors and seniors had us do. They probably had us cut mohawks, whatever it was. But I think junior year, when I was drafted, I kind of grew it out and then cut it through the minor leagues. And for some reason, when I got promoted to Double-A, I decided to shave it off, and then it was kind of short. And then and then last year I was like, hey, let's go for the long hair. And, it's worked for some guys in the past, and let's see what happens. And it's kind of stuck since then. And I think it's going to be around for a while. I've kind of talked to my wife about it. It's when it comes time to cut it, she's giving me the full go ahead to go straight mullet, business in the front, party in the back for a little while. So before it completely comes off, there will be maybe a week or two stretch of a pretty nasty mullet.
God bless that woman.
Incredible. I remember when we were talking to Bauer when he was with the Indians still, and Clev was there, and Carrasco and Kluber and those guys. There are a lot of really electric arms in the Brewers rotation right now. Is there like a healthy, like fun competition within the rotation there, where it's kind of like pass the torch, or it's kind of like you go out there and punch out 10, then you got Woodruff being like, all right, well, I'm going to get 11, and Peralta, what's it like between like the camaraderie within the rotation?
There definitely is, the competition of us, pushing each other to see who can kind of outdo each other. It's not something we really talk about, but you can kind of tell that when Woody gets on the mound, he's like, hey, we got to go out. This is, we're a rotation known for punching guys out. So I need to go out there and punch some guys out. And Freddie is kind of the guy that's kind of under the radar, just will sneaky all of a sudden look up and be like, hey, he's got like 12 punch outs today in like 5 innings. Like it's unbelievable. His stuff is I would say is probably some of the better stuff on the team. He's got the guy has massive hands, the longest fingers ever seen. So all of a sudden it's like you feel like the baseball is being released halfway to the plate, and some days it's 90 and it's by you, then the next day it's 98 and it's like, okay, this guy's got absolutely no chance. And him adding the slider, and I mean he's disgusting. And you got Hauser, who's got one of the better sinkers in the league. He doesn't quite get the strikeouts that the rest of us get, but by far gets the weakest contact out of anyone. And then you got the vet in Brett Anderson, and he brings he brings something that none of us actually have. And he's been around, he's faced every hitter. I mean, it's like, have you faced this guy? He's like, I do this and this. I mean, it's the knowledge you can gain from the guy is awesome. And
he hit 10 years in the big leagues a couple of years back.
He's been around a while. And I mean, if you talk to him, you just walk by him in person, all you get out of him is probably hey, like real quiet and soft. But when you sit down and talk to him, the guy he's hilarious. He's got stories from everyone in every place. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, you should get in Bert's ear and ask him a few stories. Ask him about the night out at dinner in Canada with a steak and the dance floor. Just say, hey, give me the story about Dallas and the steak and the dance floor.
I'll ask him.
He is a peach of a human.
He's awesome. And I've got some great stories from so we faced the Pirates, our last homestand. And so him and Cahill were rookies together. And oh man,
do you understand that they were rookies with me? They were rookies with me. I crushed those dudes because I was so jealous of them. They're so fucking good. Like, no way. Like, you guys are gonna make a ton of money and play for 15 years. Like, I'm getting my licks in now.
Yeah, so I haven't really met Cahill, but I know just about everything about his first couple years coming up.
Cahill's so unassuming. Like he was bopping around at the winter meetings a couple of years ago, and he was just like out drinking with us. And it took me a good half an hour to realize that this dude's Trevor a big league. I was like, who's this random guy following us around?
Yeah, Jared thought it was just some dude at like the winter meetings that I knew that was hanging out with.
Yeah, it's like, Dallas, can you like sign a ball for this guy so he'll leave us alone?
That's Trevor Cahill, bud. That's such a great moment. But awesome. Dude, you're talking about you're talking about all the dirty shit on the staff. So we know you got to go. We got a couple more questions for you. I'm going to ask you, if you could take one pitch from any other arm in the league, anybody, doesn't matter.
But you have to have the same pitch.
You have to have the same pitch.
You have to ditch a pitch from your repertoire and pick up the same pitch from someone who's active in the league right now.
Who's weapon are you taking?
Devin Williams.
Yeah, that changeup.
Without a doubt. If I could add that changeup with everything else I got, oof. He does it with changeup. If I could add my slider, my cutter, that would be if I could grab that changeup and trade it out for my changeup, that would be that'd be a pretty good pitch mix.
Yeah, that's what we would call unfair.
Yeah, like if you can't pick Devin Williams, who's one guy in the league where you find yourself, it's not your start day, you're in the dugout, like who do you find yourself like not in awe of because you're all in the same playing field, but like you find yourself like, I'm a fan today, like I can watch this and like I can enjoy this performance today?
I think, I mean, it would be hard to go anyone besides Jacob deGrom. I mean, what he's done the last 5 years in baseball has been pretty impressive. He went from throwing 94, 95 to this year. It's an effortless 101. I don't know what he did, but I would like to have a few of those secrets. And maybe by the time I'm, 33, 32, 33, throwing that hard still, that would be
just coming into his own.
Sweet. Yeah, he's just hitting his prime here in his early 30s. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to not pick DeGrom at this point. It's almost insulting what he's doing at the major league level to grown men that he gets to face on a every 5-day basis.
Right. Like Jared and I do this show, the hot or not. And we're talking about guys' awesome performance and Tatis and what he just did. And it's like, I want to argue for DeGrom. The guy he's just on another level right now. It really is.
If he gives up 2 runs, does he go from the hot category to the not category?
Yeah, it's like,
kind of
an off
he
week.
gave up 2. Maybe that's a down week. He's on the not this week.
Yeah, it's not doing too well.
We've got standards.
So then the last question that we asked to all of our guests is that if you could go back in time in just a regular standard time machine with normal functions, like a normal time machine. If you could go back in time to witness any moment in baseball history, live in person, you're there, you got a ticket, you're sitting right there. What would it be and why?
Oh man, that's a good one.
Just hanging out in that hot tub time machine.
Just a regular time machine.
I think for me, I would have to go back. Growing up an Angels fan, just to see.
Don't do it.
What? Gosh, what? I can't remember what year it was, but when Nolan Ryan was just absolutely dominant. Whereas maybe a second to last year with the Angels. I can't remember when that was. I'd have to go back and look, but I mean the guys, the starters back then were starting every like 3 days.
Yeah.
To throw 300 plus innings and punch out. I mean, I don't even know the punch out numbers. Probably close to 400 punch outs in a year. Just to go back and watch what some of those starters could do on every 3 days and be like, hey, how are you getting your body ready to go on 2 days rest? Like it takes 4 days for us now. And most of us, like, I could use an extra day this week. Like what were they doing to get their body to that point that they can go 300 plus innings and punch out 400 guys? Like it's unbelievable what some of those starting pitchers did back in the day.
Yeah, Nolan Ryan in 1973, he threw 326 innings and punched out 383 batters.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to send you off with those digits in your head and think about the work you're going to put in today.
Unbelievable. Like if a guy hits 200 innings now, it's like, man, that's a good year. Like he threw 326 innings. Like
the next year he threw 332.
Yeah, 332 led the league. 367 punch outs led the league.
That's only a strikeouts per 9 of 9.9 though. So you're actually better than Nolan Ryan.
Sorry, Nolan.
That's right. The Corbin Burnes Mother's Cookies baseball card set coming soon to a card shop near you.
Love that. All right. Corbin Burnes of my Milwaukee Brewers. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me on. Look forward to doing it again.
Carrabis.
Dallas.
I feel like I can smell you through the computer here.
Which is honestly, it's funny that you say that because Dr. Squatch, they actually did send me a box of soap and it's sitting here and I've been smelling it the entire, I was like, why does my podcast room smell like a bed of roses?
So you smelling squatchy in there?
Yeah. I mean,
what do you got working? You got bars of soap? Are you a liquid soap guy? What are we doing?
Honestly, it's all the above. I'm more of I like to do the bar in the shower and I like to do the liquid just for washing those hands.
Does your bar of soap have a groove in it?
Yes, it does. Which I love. That's the best part about, not living with my parents anymore is
not getting called out for those 2-hour showers.
Yeah. Is like a bar of soap just has like a different vibe to it when you live by yourself. It's like, this is my bar of soap. Like I can do with this whatever I want.
Solo soap just hits different.
It really does. Like when you're kind of like when you're living with other people, it's like, I don't know where that bar of soap's been. Like I don't know.
You do because you're seeing those 3 fucking hairs. You know exactly where that bar of soap's been. Yeah. So like having your own designated solo bar of soap, it's
It's the true sign of adulthood. And all of Dr. Squatch's soaps are made in the United States of America using the finest ingredients nature has to offer. That means natural cleansers and nourishing ingredients that are actually great for your skin. People are always like, "Oh yeah, drop the skincare routine." Oh, we're doing it right now.
Squatchy.
Dr. Squatch's soaps come in a huge range of natural, manly scents that are going to transform your shower, whether it's their best-selling pine tar, or scents like bay rum and cedar citrus. You're never going to have a boring shower ever again. I mean, like if you like, I personally, the cedar citrus, I love a good, like I love when you're taking a shower and a soap just the scent gets magnified when you're in the shower.
Yeah. Except for like the morning after a long night at the bar. Those scents in the shower.
You don't want that.
Those become aggressive.
The scent of shame doesn't compare to a bay rum or a pine tar or a cedar citrus. I know that.
No.
You really want to make it easy on yourself. You can also subscribe to Dr. Squatch, just like the hundreds of thousands of other guys out there. Every month, you get fresh bars of Squatch that show up right up at your door. It's super easy. They've also got a full lineup of personal care goods like deodorant, hair care, and toothpaste. I mean, I do that. I do that for a lot of products now where I just put it on like a monthly or a bi-monthly subscription because I first of all, I hate going outside. Second of all, I will always, especially with stuff like toothpaste and body wash and all that, I will wait until it's absolutely empty and then have to go like a shower without it or a morning without having to brush my teeth. It's like, I guess.
I hate buying that shit at the store. I hate buying it.
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to with Dr. Squatch. You can actually set up a subscription service that you can just get that shit sent right to you. So right now, new customers can get 20% off on orders of $20 or more when they go to drsquatch.com and enter the promo code. It looks like DSC starting. That is Dr. Squatch, SQUATCH.com, promo code DSC starting for 20% off on orders of $20 or more.
Freshman year, came across a bottle of pine tar.
Okay.
And because I love the smell so much, I took a drink.
Yep.
And my lips and my tongue in about 3 minutes instantly swelled. It looked like I had been attacked by a fucking herd of murder hornets. My mouth and my face were so swollen and so red. Dude, I couldn't eat for like a week. Like I couldn't
drank pine tar?
Yeah. I took a little because I just wanted to, it smelled so good. And it was like syrup, Jared. It was like syrup. Like it was in, you open it up and it smells so fucking good. And I took a,
Dallas, it was pine tar.
Yeah, I know.
And you drank it.
I did. My mom was livid.
How old are we talking here?
13.
That's too old to be drinking pine tar.
Dude, like when I was 13, 14, 15, straight Biggio, bud. Pine tar everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, that's not a good look for you.
It was a great look.
No.
Just a grimy ball player look. It was a great look.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I learned that you can't drink pine tar. Have you learned that? I have that experience. You just believe that. I have that experience.
I have that experience. I can confirm it. For you, it's just a guess. I know for a fact.
Been there.
Yeah.
Been there. We got any
Jay, hey!
Listener questions? Yo, baby.
This listener question, will the NL East pick it up or did we overhype them in the offseason? I think
fair question.
Both. I think it's both. I think there was a little bit of overhype, but I definitely think that they'll pick it up. Like if you go down the list of teams here that have underperformed to this point, like I'm willing to give the Mets a little bit of a pass because of the delayed start. Like right now, your first place Mets are 500, and then every other team has a losing record. Like are the Braves an 11-12 team? No. Are the Phillies an 11-12 team? Maybe. Are the Nationals an 8-12 team? No.
I certainly hope not. My
God. Are the Mets a 500 team? No. Are the Marlins better than 10-13? You know what? I'm going to say, yeah. I think like on paper, every single team in the NL East has underperformed. Like every single team in the NL East should be better than what their records show.
Which is why it's a fair question to ask, is the NL East going to pick it up? As far as picking it up, yes. As far as surprises, I don't know that there's going to be many surprises there. No. The surprise is Washington sitting in the basement right now at 8-12.
And not only that, but the Nats have the second worst run differential in baseball to the Detroit Tigers. Like it's bad. It's bad for the Nats. I think that they're better than this. But I mean, when you start at the top and work your way down, I mean, of course the Braves are better than this, and they'll be better than this, and they have reinforcements on the way. So yeah, yes, the answer is both. The NL East will pick it up, and maybe there was a little bit of overhype. You can only get rid of one. Which one would you get rid of and why? 7-inning doubleheaders? I mean, I'm picking 7-inning doubleheaders. They're fucking terrible. Runner on second, extra inning rule. Yeah, 7-inning doubleheaders. I fucking hate 7-inning baseball games. I like, and that's not even just because the Red Sox lost one. They also won one. They swept a 7-inning doubleheader, and they've been swept in a 7-inning doubleheader. But even just as a baseball fan, when I'm sitting there and I'm watching a baseball game on a Wednesday night, and then I flip on the game and it's like 7:00, and I'm like, damn, this is a awesome pitching matchup. Like I can't wait to see how this one plays out. And then you get to the 6th inning and you're like, wait, you're just gonna shut this shit down in an inning? Like let's ride the wave. Let's keep it going. And I hate it. I hate it. I hate it for my team. I hate it for other people's teams. But like you've said before, I mean, I'm sure the players fucking love it.
Well, and look, as a broadcaster these days, I am consuming the game in a different manner. And every day I am trying to decide between, do I like this from a broadcaster's perspective? Do I like this from a player's perspective? Do I like this from a fan's perspective? Because I do find myself wearing all three of those hats. Not a player anymore. So really, I guess that hat can stay hung up. But I don't want to, and this has been my thought about the extra inning rule, is I just don't want to see a game get played for 9 innings and then be presented with an opportunity that you haven't earned all game long and have that just kind of go by the wayside. Oh, here you go. You've gotten 2 hits all game. Well, Dallas, the reason that he's on second base is because the other team hasn't scored either. And it's been a slog of a ball game all day. Well, you know what?
Slog.
Maybe it hasn't. Maybe it's been a well-pitched ball game. And this is just a battle that we're going to have to get through here. Maybe the bullpen is throwing well, and that's just a battle that we're going to have to get through. So why are we doing this again? And again, I know why we're doing it, because we're trying to prevent injury. We're trying to speed this thing up. We don't need 17-inning ball games, and then the team has to turn around and play a game the very next day, maybe even a day game. And the ability for teams to get guys that would help them in place on their roster that day is tough to almost impossible to do. So in an effort to avoid teams being hamstrung because they just played a 16-inning ball game where they depleted their bullpen resources and don't have anybody to utilize that next day, and you don't want to see a position player pitching in the 7th inning, 8th inning, and 9th inning. Well, how do we combat that? Well, we give these guys an opportunity to end the game a little sooner. And that's where that fucking second base rule comes into play with a runner on second. So I would want to do away with that rule because I want to see a team win or lose by their own accord and not because a rule is in place that moves the game along. So I would do away with that. Keep the 7-inning doubleheaders, because if we're talking about 14 innings of baseball in one day, that's 5 more innings than I was expecting in any other day. Like I'm settling in for 9 because we don't have these planned doubleheaders. This isn't the fucking 50s. That's not happening. So like nobody's super amped. Like you tell me how many people that you know would be amped up, super jacked up to go and sit at a ballpark for 8 hours. A lot of people want to tell you that they are. A lot of people ain't.
Yeah, I hate the 7-inning doubleheaders. Do you have the balls to say that the Royals can get a wild card spot or win the division? So the Royals right now have the best record in baseball, I believe, right? They have a
yes.
636 winning percentage. That is, yeah, they have the best record in baseball. So I was looking at it, and they've got the +3 run differential, which is, that's pretty good for, they're 14-8. They're in the positives for the run differential. But then I'm looking at it, and it's like, as a team, they have a 680 OPS, which is 20th in Major League Baseball.
But they told you they weren't going to pound the baseball anyway. And
they have a 3.94 ERA, which is, team ERA is pretty good. They get the 1.31 WHIP. How many guys they punching out over here? The FIP is 3. So actually the pitching has been
they're
better.
Pitching better. Yeah.
Yeah. The FIP is 3.67. So they've even been better than the ERA would suggest. And then the strikeouts per 9.33. So the pitching's been pretty solid, but to have the best record in the big leagues through basically the month of April, that's insane. Like, is it sustainable? I'm going to say no, I don't think it is. I think it's, if you're a Royals fan, it's something to be excited about. If you're watching this team and they're winning baseball games, like, that's fun. Like, I feel like it's going to be a fun year because you're playing with house money. I think no one expected them to be winning ball games this early, and they are. But if you kind of look at the numbers, it would lead you to believe that the hot start will not be sustainable over 162. But if they kind of just
yet?
No, they haven't. They're the only team that has not lost a series.
And granted, they haven't played any powerhouses. What? Tampa Bay, the best team they played to this point? The Jays?
Those are some good teams.
The White Sox have struggled. The Indians, the Rangers, Tigers, Buccos. Got the Buccos on deck. Yeah, I sustainable? No. So, like,
winning record? How about we move the goalpost? Winning record? Do you have the balls to say that they'll finish with above 500?
I don't like some of the early struggles that I've seen with Giolites. And
no, I'm talking about the Royals.
I know, and knowing that that's somebody that they have to contend with. If the White Sox are not the powerhouse on the mound that we had thought that they would be, and the and the Royals are going to play good baseball, are going to be competitive. Maybe they're not going to blast the ball out of the ballpark, but if they're going to pitch well and they don't have that juggernaut to deal with in this division, there's no reason that the Royals can't just punch and move and find themselves hovering around the 500 mark late in the season and a few games over at the end of it all.
We'll see.
Because do you have him as a wild card winner? You have?
No.
You haven't?
Nope. No. I don't. I think that it'll be the race to finish with a winning record, and I think that will be the storyline. Is, can these Royals?
You got him 82 and 80?
Yeah, I could see something like that. Yeah. but definitely
what
not.
I'm crossing my fingers for.
Yeah. What team with playoff World Series hopes should people be most worried about? The Braves, Yankees, and Astros come to mind.
I am not as worried about the Braves as I would be the Yankees, maybe.
I mean, there's nothing from a playoff standpoint to be worried about as it pertains to the New York Yankees.
Like what? Like they're not going?
No, I mean, like it wouldn't surprise me at all if they made it, but their rotation after Garrett Cole is just fucking trash. Like that's like another division series exit right there.
Well, that's so playoff World Series hopes. You have them going to the playoffs in that statement, not the World Series.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like, I'm thinking.
Like think about the NL. Let's start here. Think about the NL. Go through the divisions. Who's winning those divisions? Are the Braves in the conversation for the NL East?
Yeah, I think it's the Rays. I think like which team that isn't playing the best right now should you most be worried about come playoff time? I think it's Tampa.
Well, hold on. Let me. Well, maybe,
hold on one
maybe
second.
we're interpreting this conversation.
Hold on one second. Hold on.
Ellen, maybe we're interpreting this conversation or this question differently. What team with playoff World Series hopes should people be most worried about? Are you interpreting that as
like which playoff team that's like no one's worried about right now that they should be worried about later, I guess?
And I was thinking of it as who should we be fearing of missing out, or like who are we worried about missing out right now? That's kind of how I was looking at it. Like which, you know what I mean? So I would be worried about the Yankees making the postseason based on what we've seen earlier, more than I'd be worried about the Braves or the Astros making the postseason.
Yeah.
But if you're interpreting it differently, and these are the teams that you think could be making noise but aren't now, and we want to, is that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Is like, all right, of these guys,
because of the
the Braves, Yankees, and Astros, like I'm not concerned about any of them not making the playoffs. Like I'm not. There's no one that I'm like, oh, if they, they could let this thing get away.
You got the Rays being better than the Yankees, and if you like your Sox there, then where does that put the Yankees?
You could have 3 wild card teams.
What's that?
You could have 3 3 teams come out of the same division.
I don't know that that's happening.
I don't know.
Know that that's happening.
Why? Because you think,
my Oakland A's and the Astros are going to win the division, and the Oakland A's are going.
You just put us in that conversation there. I didn't. You did.
No, I'm just reading between the lines. All right.
Is that it?
And there's a bringing the cheese, but we're not doing the bringing the cheese without Jay Hay. So,
yeah, when he
that's all I
gets
got.
back. All right.
All right.
We go.